Yo, it's your boy, Miyamoto Musashi, and today we're going to talk about the Leaving Neverland review on this documentary. It's pretty crazy, man. Michael Jackson, I was a fan of, many of his songs and his music, and I've always thought he was a little bit of a weird guy. But, I considered his childhood, and maybe he just, was really close with children, and he wished that he had a childhood. And I do think that there have been some cases where he's been accused of things that he hasn't done. And because he's rich, people target him to try to get money and take advantage of him. But with that being said, out of all the boys that he's hung out with, my gut tells me that he's probably messed with some of those boys. There's just no way around it. Just the positions that he put himself in. And I really blame the parents. Even if all of these things are false, and even if they're true, which I think a lot of these stories coming out are true, I absolutely blame the parents, because who in their right mind would leave their kids with a grown man by themselves? Like, who does these things? Not a normal person. They were wowed by his celebrity status, by the money and the gifts, and they thought, it was okay. But it just baffles me. It baffles me. Who in their right mind would leave a child in the care of a grown man, or even a woman for that sake, who isn't a family member or a trained daycare professional? Who would do this? Like, honestly, I wouldn't even like my kids to go to a daycare, to be honest. You just can't trust your children to be around strangers. But this whole documentary, I was listening to the stories, and there was so much painstaking detail that it was hard for me to not believe what these people are saying, because the detail was just so in depth, and a lot of the stories were corroborated, and there seemed to be a trend and a pattern with these events that took place. So it just seemed far too convenient that the same story kept playing out over and over. So I'd like to know what you guys think. Personally, I think that he's guilty, but at the same time, it sucks that these things are coming out and Michael Jackson's not alive to defend himself. And, I really hate, things like that, when a dead man is being ran through the dirt and he doesn't have an opportunity to explain his side of the story. But my gut tells me that he probably did mess with these children. I'd love to know what you guys think. Either way, I mean, he was a talented artist, talented musician. I really like his song, "They Don't Really Care About Us." That was a very powerful song. But, you can be a fan of his music and not a fan of him personally, and that's pretty much where I stand on the issue.